Hey everybody, this is only been a day later since I put third coat of oil on that and the first coat of oil on this. So the third coat of oil on my birch stock, you can still see it's a little tangy. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to let it dry for another, it's only been on there for a day. And I'll give it another 2 or 3 days and I'll see what it's like. But I put one coat of oil on this and it's dry. It's sucked it right all in. So I'm going to start. The first time I did, I sanded it down with 220 grain sandpaper, just light sanding, just trying to scuff it up a bit. Put some oil on it. Now I'm going to hit it with a 400 grain sandpaper, and it's hard to tell, but you can run your finger across, you can feel like tiny little grooves. What it is you use the sandpaper to scuff it up, and then when you oil it, you use that the sanded part. It actually fills in the grooves a little bit. It's like a filler. So, some cotton from the rag I rubbed on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit it with a 400 grit paper. And I'm going to use this little cup right here. Pour a little tung oil in it. And I'm just going to use my fingertips to rub it in. Now the first coat I put in was a little heavy. The next coat's every coat after that, it's going to just be a nice light coat. I don't want to put too much on it. But let me start sanding. Put tung oil on. So I'm just going to light sand and I'm not going to press too hard. I don't need a sanding block. If you're really sanding harder, you got to get a sand block because you don't want to bevel these sharp angles. You try to sand with a grain. Nothing too crazy. So you basically want to use your fingers and rubbing it nice and hard almost. Kind of like almost want to warm up the oil with your fingers. This is to soak in a little better. Well, that's that. This is the second coat. %tung oil. Let that sit for a couple days now. I'll check it on tomorrow, see how it is. See, the first coat, the wood just sucked it all up, absorbed it right away. I don't think it's going to do the same with this one, but we'll see. I know it gets slower and slower. Takes a couple more days to dry out. And see, this is the birch stock. That's 3 coats of oil on it. I'm not going to do any other one on it, but see how long it takes to dry. Second coat took almost about 2.5 days. It's still a little tangy. I'll come back tomorrow, see how this walnut stock is. It might be ready. If it's still a little tangy, it's fine. I can still give it sanding down. Sand it down again with another 400 grit. Put another coat of oil on it. That might be the last time I sand it down. I'll have to check. They say you can see sort of like little grooves, little holes in the wood, just naturally. That's what fills it in. You sand it down and you oil it at the same time when you leave the dust on it, the wood dust on it, and it actually fills in the crack. Makes it nice and smooth. Well, time just let it sit, dry. See what happens. Alright, until next time. Okay, it's been 2 days now since I put on the second coat of this, of oil. And it has 3 coats on. That's been, I think, over 3 days now. You can still see it's a little tangy. This one soaked it up pretty good. Some spots are dry, some spots are a little tangy where I put it on a little thicker than the rest. The stock is definitely soaking in. And the color of the stock's really showing out, all the wood grain and everything. It's starting to look beautiful. Well, now I'm just going to feel, see if I feel any rough spots. A little rough spots right here. If it's totally smooth, I wouldn't sand it anymore, but a little right here, there's little rough spots. I'm trying to fill in these little holes, little crevices. You can tell the way the wood's cut, wherever that you can see a lot of tiny little, it's part of the wood, it's just natural, but so when you sand it down, that dust will fill it in. So I'm going to hit this one more time with a 400 grain sandpaper, and I'm going to put my third coat of oil on it and let it sit for, it's probably going to be at least 3, maybe 4 days, and I'll take a look at it. And hopefully by then I won't have to sand anymore. All I got to do is just probably put 2 or 3 more coats of oil on it and wax it down when it's all dry and call it good. Alright, I'm not going to bore you with me sanding it. You've already seen that in the previous video, in the previous section of this video. So I'm just giving you an update on what it looks like. This is after second coat, 2 days of drying. It's turned out very nice. Until the next coat. Okay, it's been 4 days since I put the third coat of oil, of tung oil, in this stock. Soaked it up pretty good. It's fairly dry. The color, the pattern of the wood, is coming up beautifully. So I think I'm going to do well, at least do one more coat of oil on it. It's nice and smooth, so I'm not going to sand it down anymore. It was a little rough here last time, but it's all smooth now. So I'm done with the sanding. So I'm going to put one more coat of oil. That means it'll be a total of 4 coats of tung oil on this. And then I'll seal it up with some wax. And we'll put it all together and see what it looks like. Alright, until next time. Okay, this is the 4th coat. Been about 4 days. It's a little bit tangy. Did suck it up pretty good. So it's real thick here. Work that excess off. Yeah, it's still a little tangy. So the color's coming out real beautiful. Just on the back end. Maybe I'll do one more coat. Yeah, I'll do one more coat. So I don't think this thing's going to suck up anymore. I don't know if you can tell on the inside. I only put one coat on the inside. It's a little lighter than it is on the outside. Yeah, I'm going to do one more coat of oil. I'm going to call it good. That'll be 5 coats of oil total on this stock. And I'm going to probably let it, it's going to take the way this is going, probably easily a week to truly dry. Then I'll put the wax on, and then I'll put all the metal on, and we'll put it together, see what it looks like. Alright, until next time.